The Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift kicked off with a sprint stage on the Champs-Élysées. We've got some big hitters, pretty much all the big hitters here. But if you don't know, if you haven't seen the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast preview, I'd encourage you to check it out with the full route analysis, etc. But here's a quick overview of the parcours. So first stage, sprint stage, yellow jersey on offer for the sprinters. 8 stages in this race. A little uphill finish tomorrow, not so hard. In stage 2, stage 4's got some white gravel roads. It's really backloaded for GC though. Stages 7 and 8, super hard. I think stage 7 is the hardest. It's got the Grand Ballon, Petit Ballon, and then the last stage finishes uphill on La Super Planche de Belfi, which we saw the other day in the men's Tour de France. So GC should be pretty open for a while. Balsamo probably going for green jersey stages and maybe yellow if she can get some bonus seconds in finishes. Obviously, Annemiek van Vleuten is the big favourite for GC, but I don't know, she'll probably play it cool until those last couple of stages, then send those clients. But the first intermediate sprint, there were two. We saw Marianne Vos and Wiebes going for it. Note that down. Whereas Alexandra Manley and Kopecky are a feature, but Vos took the first intermediate. But we see in the second intermediate, which is closer to the finish, and so potentially riders not wanting to affect their legs, we don't see a Marianne Vos. We don't see Lorena Wiebes, probably the two favourites for the stage alongside Balsamo. She's not there either. We see Kopecky and Manley going for it again. So Kopecky and Manley obviously going for green. I think Balsamo and Vos probably are too, but they seem to be, I don't know, trying to hedge their bets, not trying to ruin their legs before going for the yellow jersey. Femke Marcus took the Queen of the Mountains jersey for tomorrow, but then it became the run into the sprint. Gladys Verhulst on Le Col Wahoo was up the road, 50-second gap, but that can come down really, really fast when you've got like Trek with Ellen Van Dijk and co pacing for Elisa Balsamo, the world champion. Jumbo-Visma got firepower, 3 Anna Marcus for Marianne Vos. DSM have an absolutely stacked train with 5 for Georgie, Charlotte Cool for Lorena Wiebes. So that gap just started melting really, really fast on this flat course. High speed, we see DSM come to the front with 6.3 Ks to go as they start the sort of the last circuit. Then it's Jumbo-Visma and DSM kind of take a back seat and don't move forward until really, really late. Jumbo-Visma, I would say, out of all the teams, maintained close to front position the best, whereas it was Movistar. They're riding for Emma Norsgaard, and it's 2.1 Ks to go, and you see here they got 2 riders left on the front with the first rider already spending herself, so Norsgaard would struggle to maintain front position. It was Vos and Jumbo-Visma who were pretty happy with that situation where they were able to sort of conserve Anna Henderson a little bit for the final. Ellen Van Dijk, though, the Trek Segafredo leader, I thought would be one of the strongest in the race. And we see that Ellen Van Dijk's bringing up Balsamo. There's no Elisa Longoborghini at this point. It's just her and Balsamo, and they switch strategy to basically, well, it seemed Balsamo made a decision here. She stopped following Van Dijk because it's too close to finish. She's too far to the front, and she goes for Vos wheel, and she boots Anna Henderson. There's a big fight for the wheel of Marianne Vos. Henderson gets squeezed, and so Balsamo takes the wheel of Marianne Vos, and there's still a fight for it there going into, remember, there's a left-right chicane into the Champs-Élysées. Pretty sure that's Emma Norsgaard, not Ord Bjanic. And yeah, so Norsgaard, Balsamo, where's Wiebes? Where's DSM? The hot, hot favourite for this stage. DSM, in almost a panic move, are way back here, launching, it's just Charlotte Cool, I think, left as well, launching Wiebes, and they're going to try and come up the inside and squeeze through as Jumbo-Visma go around Ellen Van Dijk into the last straight through this bend. And Jumbo-Visma, if they go to the barriers here, which they probably should have, normally you would expect them to go all the way to the barriers and squeeze DSM out. I'm not sure Lorena Wiebes would have been able to win this sprint, but as they've opened the gap, they got to keep it open now. DSM and Charlotte Cool have come up underneath Vos and Henderson. I think Henderson and Vos switch positions, and now Henderson's in front of Vos. But yeah, if they squeeze DSM there, big trouble for Wiebes. Balsamo's sitting on both Vos and Wiebes' wheel. She's trying to hedge her bets, I think, a little bit, although Barbieri squeezes her off Wiebes' wheel. Barbieri claims that for Live Racing a little bit more. And so it's Henderson, last woman for Marianne Vos. She goes really, really early, perhaps a little bit too early, but there's no one in front of her. You've got Cool and Wiebes. Wiebes is still on Marianne Vos' wheel. She's eating a little bit of wind. She's worried. You can see she's worried about getting boxed in. That's the position Mark Cavendish was in last year, and he couldn't get out of this position when Philipsen and Wout van Aert boxed him in, but luckily she's got her lead out man that she squeezes underneath to the left-hand side, and Vos goes early all the way to the other side of the road. Her initial kick, when you see the overhead, her initial kick is the best we've seen from Vos for quite a while. It matches Weber's, but not in the last 15 to 25 meters. You'll see here when Vos launches, she goes early. Weber's was struggling. Like, if Henderson stays on the barriers, I don't know. Weber's probably goes to the right-hand side of her and wins anyway, but you see Vos' initial kick was really, really strong. Maybe Weber's just concerted her effort better, and there's daylight between those two, neither of which had a draft, and the rest of the field, Kopecky in third, Barbieri fourth, who's been good this season for Liv Racing, but Weber's, on cue, as expected, the short favourite probably for the stage. Lorena Weber's the best sprinter in the world, but you've still got to get it done. Still, things can go wrong. Things nearly did go wrong if maybe they got squeezed out, and she probably was worried. I think she was worried as well that, that was a possibility. It happened to Balsamo, who said, she got boxed in and blocked out the world champion. She couldn't even really contest for top 5, and DSM must be very, very happy taking the first stage, which also means the first yellow jersey for the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift inaugural edition for Lorena Weber's huge win. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, though. A little uphill finish. Vos has got 6 bonus seconds. Vos will be going for that yellow jersey if she can come second or better, and Weber's can't come in the top 3. But she wins today ahead of Vos, Kopecky, Barbieri 4th, Norsgaard 5th, and Van der Dun, Balsamo, Boilard, Dronova, Guazzini rounding out the top 10. Pretty much all the good sprinters are here in the world as well, except, Charlotte Cool's probably top 5, but she's doing lead-out duties. Consoni, I think, had COVID, so she's not in the race, unfortunately, but stacked sprint field. We'll see that tomorrow. Here's what Lorena Weber's had to say after the stage.
Lorena, congrats. What a sprint you did. Tell us, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. The team did an amazing job. And as a whole team, we worked to this moment. Also, all the people at headquarters. So I'm really happy with this win. It was a really chaotic sprint and also long sprint. I expected that Marianne would do a long sprint, but it's nice to win.
Yesterday, everyone said you were the super favorite. How did you manage for the stress?
Well, I was quite relaxed before the start. We did everything as normal. We saw this as a normal race. And of course, I was a bit nervous towards the final, but I'm really happy to finish this off.
Winning the first stage means to have the yellow jersey. What does it feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm really, really happy with this. And I think the whole team deserved this after the amazing season we already had, and we are ready for the next ones.
Can you describe the last meter of the sprint? It was really close with Marianne.
Yeah, it was really close, but luckily I could accelerate one more time and hold it to the finish line.
But as I said, here's GC. Weber's taking yellow jersey, 4 seconds ahead of Vos, 6 seconds ahead of Kopecky because of bonus seconds, and 10 seconds to everybody else. Femke Marcus in the Queen of the Mountains jersey. But hope you enjoyed the video. Stage 2 recap coming tomorrow, and I'll see you with that one then. Ciao.